Okay, good afternoon to all the participants of this important event. Today we have signed the agreement between EAEVE and ANVUR agency. It's the first time that we signed a very important agreement such as this. And I think it's an historical moment for our agency. As you probably know, our agency is accredited under the ENCAR ECAR, and now is an agreement between two important agencies that belong to this network. I have with me Petra Winter, the president of the, and other colleagues of the agency, and I give my regards to all the participants that are here in our offices and the colleagues that are connected by mail and telematic way. Today we are starting with the presentation of EAEVE, and so I give the floor to Petra Winter, and I thanks her to be here in Rome with us, and I give my regards and thanks to all the colleagues of the veterinary faculty belonging to Italian universities. Again, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Good afternoon, dear President of ANVUR, Professor Riccio, dear representatives of ANVUR, dear deans and representatives from the Italian veterinary education establishments in front of your screens, dear guests and colleagues of EAEVE. I'm very pleased to represent EAEVE today as its president. It's a great honor to celebrate this important milestone together. I'm also pleased to be joined by highly engaged representatives from Italy. A warm welcome to Professor Laura Helm-Kramer, Professor Castagnara Massimo, and Dr. Masenzio Fornasi, member of EAEVE nominated by FVE. Thank you for joining me.
We thank the member of our boards that are here, Vice President, and member of the board. Presentation of the they are director with us here and review.
So let me start with a simple question. Who are we? EAEVE, the European Association of Establishments for Veterinary Education, is an association of 110 veterinary education establishments in 43 countries. Since 2018, we are accredited by ANVUR and registered by EAEVE. In Europe, 84 veterinary educational establishments have full accreditation or approval depending on the procedure. Currently, we represent more than 70,000 undergraduate students. They are trained in small groups by 11,800 teachers, most of them veterinarians. On average, one teacher supervises 6 students. Every year, 10,500 graduates complete their studies and are ready for their first job. Today, one graduate serves about 57,000 inhabitants. This is a much better relation than the recent recommendation of 1 per 100,000. Our vision is clear. Veterinary education based on high quality standards, research and innovation is the key to the veterinary profession in Europe and beyond. Let me take you back to our history. In 1987, at the World Veterinary Congress in Montreal, Professor Bernard Thomas was inspired by the contributions of AAVMC. Back in France, together with Yves Soyot, he secured support to create EAEVE. And 1 year later, 1988, EAEVE was launched with the support of 37 veterinary school leaders. 2 years later, the permanent evaluation system EasyVet, the European system of evaluation of veterinary training, was adopted aligned with the EU directive. Now we are counting more than 30 years of application of EASYVET. EASYVET focuses on undergraduate training. It ensures the achievement of day one competences on compliance with defined standards. Currently, there are 55 standards. It is managed by EAEVE in cooperation with FWE, and the final decisions are taken by EAEVE, a fully independent body. EAEVE's strategic goals are to serve our members, foster global cooperation, strengthen research-driven monitoring, and improve the quality of veterinary education based on solid data. Over the last 10 years, we have seen continuous growth in accredited VEs, and we welcome new members who want to be part of EAEVE. EAEVE represents 8 regions. Together with Romania and Albania, the Italian VEs form Region 3, with 18 veterinary establishments in total. Italy hosts 13 veterinary educational establishments with 5,300 undergraduate students and 634 graduates each year. Almost 950 full-time teachers are involved in veterinary education in Italy. But EAEVE is not only European. Thanks to our director of EASYVET, Pierre Lequeux, we are increasingly global with information sessions around the world. Just this year, he visited Thailand, Uzbekistan, United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and Moldova. Today, however, we celebrate a very special milestone. ANVUR, the national QA agency, is the pioneer in establishing close cooperation with EAEVE. By signing the Memorandum of Understanding, ANVUR and EAEVE promote quality assurance and enhancement in Italian veterinary education. This Memorandum of Understanding enables joint visitations and fosters mutual understanding, and it brings tremendous benefits for Italian VEs. One single accreditation process, one single self-evaluation report, less administrative burden, lower travel costs, more efficient and sustainable accreditation, and most important, sharing expertise between the experts. All based on our shared commitment to ESGs and EASYVET standards. We started with a pilot in 2025. Perugia and Milano were visited jointly with a national observer. My heartfelt congratulations to Perugia, which received full accreditation last week. ANVUR is also a role model for EAEVE. Inspired by ANVUR's digital analysis, we launched the WAVE project, Workflow Automations for Veterinary Establishments. This project will streamline reporting and analysis into one unified data system. I'm pleased to announce that within the next few months, we will introduce centralized digital workspaces for each veterinary educational establishment, the so-called V-spaces. You can follow EAEVE activities on our LinkedIn account, and we will post about this ceremony tonight. What we achieve together. I thank all members, partners, supporters, and our office team for their commitment and dedication. My heartfelt thanks goes to the representatives of ANVUR for your hospitality, your commitment to this Memorandum of Understanding, and your close cooperation. I also extend my gratitude to our director of EASYVET, Pierre Lequeux, and our anchor delegate, Philipp Raffers. Looking forward to our next joint projects. Let us celebrate this great moment together. Thank you.
For your speech, everything what you've said about our cooperation, about the project we are going to improve, and I think that is a very important opportunity for all the activities of our member. And I have to thank Massimo Castagnaro, who was the member of our governing board that has started, discussed, and of course all the members of our board that are here and that are very happy for this opportunity to cooperate. So now, according to the program, I give the floor to Alessio Caiani and Massimo Tronci and Simone Dia.
Thank you, and good afternoon to everyone, to all the person and presence, and all the person connected remotely. So my presentation today, I would like to offer an overview of how veterinary medicine education is organized in Italy, and how our national quality assurance system support and evaluates these programs. I will show the structure, will show you the structure of our system, and then I will show some recent data that help us to understand its performance. The agenda is of the table of content. The agenda of the presentation is this. First of all, I will provide an overview of the veterinary medicine programs in Italy and its territorial distribution. Then we will illustrate the quality assurance system used in Italian higher education system, both for periodic accreditation and for initial accreditation. And finally, we will look at some relevant data and indicators regarding veterinary medicine education in Italy. So this is the territorial distribution of the programs in veterinary medicine. In our system, there are 15 programs, 5 of them in the northern regions of Italy, Torino, Milano, Bologna, Padova, and Parma, 4 of these in the center regions, and 6 of them in the southern and islands regions of Italy. The most recently established programs are those of the University of Rome Tor Vergata and University of Palermo, but we will see in advance. So the periodic accreditation model, the Italian national QA system was introduced in Italy by law number 204 of 2010, and then shaped well by the legislative decree number 19 of 2012. And following this legislation, the agency has developed its own assessment criteria, methodology, and procedures to fulfill its task in strict adherence to standards and guidelines for quality assurance in the European higher education system. So the AVA system is operational since 2013, and it's called AVA. The first A stands for autovalutazione, self-assessment. The V stands for valutazione periodica, periodic evaluation, and the second A stands for accreditation. That are the 3 most important pillars in our system. The first round of periodical assessment started in 2015 and lasted and finished in 2021 with all the university visited. But actually, the first accreditation visit was set at the end of 2014. Massimo Castagnaro remember well, because we were together in University of L'Aquila in November of 2014, 11 years ago, and the University of Perugia was the 2 first universities visited for the first round. But in the middle of the first round, the agency moved from guidelines called AVA 1 to guidelines called AVA 2, and based on the experiences gained in the first cycle and after a period of reflection and consultation with all relevant stakeholders, a new periodic accreditation model was developed, the AVA3 model that started in 2023 with the first 10 universities visited. Then the other 20 universities was visited in 2024. And at the moment, in 2025, we have visited 18 universities, and 4 are planned. There is a little mistake in this slides. It's ongoing. One accreditation visit in this week in Naples, in University of Napoli, Federico II, and the other 39 universities will be visited in 2026 and 2027. We have an agenda calendar of all the accreditation visit published in our website. That's the scheme of the model. This slide shows the evaluation areas of AVA3 periodic accreditation model. Each evaluation area is then detailed in point of attention and aspect to be considered. But the main area concerns the governance of the universities, or the university's ability to define its strategy, plan activities, and organize its structure. Below this, the evaluation of resource management in order to achieve strategic and operation goals. At the base of the model, there is the evaluation of the internal quality assurance system of each university, set by each university, both regarding the quality of teaching and the quality of student services for one side, and the quality of research and third mission impact from the other side. And for each visit, a representative sample of study programs, PhD programs, and department is selected for evaluation. But the assessment of the QA process is supported by a set of quantitative and qualitative indicators that operates at all levels of the model, and may adjust the final evaluation positively or negatively. Sorry. Okay. I told you about the selection of programs in veterinary medicine, the periodic accreditation. The sample selected is chosen to be representative of all the programs offered by each universities, and the number of programs selected is depending by the dimension, the size in terms of total number of programs offered by each university. In the first cycle of accreditation, AVA1 and AVA1 and AVA2, we selected 9 programs in veterinary medicine. Camerino, Torino, Teramo, Messina, Bari, Pisa, Parma, Sassari, and Milano. Most of them evaluated as fully satisfactory. That means a score above 6.5. For the second round, at the moment, we have selected only the programs of veterinary medicine of Perugia that received an accreditation judgment as satisfactory. In the second round, the numerical scoring system has been abolished, so there is only qualitative evaluation. Okay, now let's move with the initial accreditation of new university study program. Initial accreditation is granted by the Ministry of University and Research following ANVUR's verification that the institution meets the legal requirement concerning educational and research quality, as well as structural, organization, and sustainability. The proposal is submitted by the university and is first evaluated by a representative body of Italian Academy, that is the National University Council, that check if the program structure and its compliance with the ministerial regulation. After this assessment, the agency assesses the proposed educational project in terms of design quality, delivery, and the viability of staff and infrastructural process. After a positive evaluation by ANVUR, the ministry issues the accreditation decree. So, for initial accreditation of a new program in veterinary medicine, in the last 2 years, we evaluated 3 proposals. Two of them in academic year 2024-2025, of the proposal from the University of Roma, Tor Vergata, that was evaluated positively, and there was a proposal of accreditation. In the same academic years, we evaluated the proposal by the University of Palermo that received also a positive evaluation, but with some condition. After subsequently check, this condition was met, and so there was a proposal of accreditation, and the programs could start from academic year 2025-2026. We received also a proposal by one private university, that is the Link Campus University of Rome, but in academic year 2025-2026, but the proposal was evaluated in a negative way, so the ANVUR expressed proposal of not accreditation of this program. So we now analyze some key data and indicators concerning higher education in the veterinary field in Italy. We will examine territorial distribution by macro region, so north, center, so south, and highlands, and observe trend over the last 5 academic years from 2020, 2021 to 2024, 2025. All the data come from the public dashboard on the university system, available on ANVUR's website. So all the people could examine this data. The first is regarding the number of new entrants in the system, in the programs of veterinary medicine. So there is a generally increasing pattern in the Italian system of all the programs of veterinary medicine, with a slight decline in the most recent year observed. And the pattern is similar in all the macro region. After this, we can examine an indicator, the percentage of students that continue his career into the second year in the same program. So we can see the percentage is typically above 90% in northern universities, is between 80 and 19% in average, and in the University of Central Italy, it is less of 80%, but with an increase in the most recent year observed in the University of South and Highland universities. Then we can move to analyze the number of students enrolled. So we can see, and you can observe an increasing trend over the 5 years observed, starting from more or less 5,000 students enrolled in total to above 6,000 of students enrolled in total, and the pattern again is similar in all the macro regions observed. Okay, this is another indicator about the students enrolled. The percentage of inactive students, so meaning the student who earned no credits during the academic year. The national average range between 7 and 8 over the period observed, with a significantly higher values in the University of Central Italy that starts from 8% and goes above 10% with a decline in the next 2-year academics and all more or less 9% in the most recent academic year observed. So the last is number of graduates. In the number of graduates, the slide shows the trend, the number of graduates. We observe a slightly decreasing national trend with a recovery in the most recent year observed. Again, with similar pattern. We saw similar patterns in all the macro region observed. The last indicator that I will show you is the percentage of graduates completing their studies within the normal duration. The trend is increasing at all levels with a slight decrease in the last year observed. The regularity graduates appear significantly better in northern universities, the orange line, compared to those in central and southern Italy. So this concludes the overview of veterinary medicine education and the quality assurance mechanism in place in Italy. The system has evolved significantly in recent years, and the data show both from one side strengths and from other side areas where institutions can continue to improve. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to firstly echo the thanks from our president and from our guests to EAEVE in person of its president, Professor Winter, for the opportunity and for being here today, to our guests here at the agency premise, and to the attendees that are online. I'm Simone Via, I'm an officer of ANVUR, and I'm responsible for the international unit. And we are at the end, the final session of this fruitful event today. And I want to give you just the picture, going to the point on what the Memorandum of Understanding will be, hopefully, in our will. ANVUR and EAEVE already shared a great deal. Both operate within the European higher education area, both adhere to the ESGs, and both are full ENCA and ECAR members. This gives us a common vocabulary and a common approach and shared values in quality assurance. And that's why the Memorandum of Understanding that we formalize today is far more than a document. It is a strategic step, investment in cooperation, and a very concrete signal of how our quality assurance systems can increasingly work together within the European landscape. In recent years, however, Italian veterinary education establishments have faced two parallel evaluation processes: the national one, conducted by, obviously, ANVUR, and the European one, coordinated by EAEVE. Both are essential, but sometimes they can overlap in timing and in documentation and also in expectations. This leads to a simple but crucial question. Can we work together more effectively, reducing the application while keeping each system fully independent? The Memorandum of Understanding is the answer to this question. Yes, we can. On one side, ANVUR, which is responsible for the quality assurance of the Italian higher education system and is increasingly committed to strengthening its international presence. On the other, EAEVE, based in Vienna, as we already know, promoting excellence in veterinary education across Europe and overseeing the accreditation of veterinary programs. Different perspectives, of course, but complementary expertise, now brought together in a structured collaboration that benefits both organizations and, above all, the institutions we serve. Delving into the memorandum, it rests on 4 clear and mutually reinforcing objectives. The first is to promote cooperation and dialogue, because quality grows when knowledge is shared. The second one is coordinate evaluations, where appropriate, of course, to make processes more efficient and coherent and to reduce unnecessary burdens. The third one is benefit to the Italian Vs, helping them navigate national and European requirements more easily. The fourth, last but not least, it is maintaining the autonomy, helping ensuring that no process replaces or overrides the other. This balance is explicitly stated in the preamble and throughout all the Memorandum of Understanding. How we will collaborate. The agreement identifies 5 practical areas of cooperation. The first one is exchange of information on standards, procedures, and regulatory developments. The second one is participation in event and site visits, allowing observers and experts to learn directly from each system. The third one is joint initiatives, including training activities, working groups, and methodological exchanges, development. Regular updates, of course, ensuring a stable flow of communication and not only occasional exchanges. And evaluation or coordination, the most innovative area, we should say, because it is designed to reduce the application without replacing mandatory frameworks. Together, these actions create a coherent and sustainable model. The Memorandum of Understanding contains several commitments that deserve emphasis. Let me highlight at least 3 of them. The first one is the purpose stated in Article 1 to promote cooperation, dialogue, and the exchange of good practices in veterinary education accreditation. The second is to guarantee full autonomy for national quality assurance activities, clearly reaffirmed in the preamble. And the third is the commitment to reducing administrative and financial burdens for this, which Professor Winter mentioned before. And this is, in particular, the art of the agreement, to be more efficient, more aligned, and more useful to the institutions undergoing evaluation. What are the benefits and the results that we expect from this partnership? Surely, reduced duplication and having clearer processes for Italian bees, a stronger shared quality culture across national and European systems, and the mutual learning through continuous participation and exchange between ANVUR and EAEVE. Also, looking ahead, hopefully the development of joint training programs, potential alignment of methodological frameworks, annual joint feedback sessions, and the possibility that this model becomes a reference for other European collaboration. The Memorandum of Understanding will last for 3 years with automatic renewal, proof that it is intended as a long-term evolving partnership. I would go directly to the conclusion, saying that with this memorandum, ANVUR and EAEVE demonstrate the quality and cooperation can advance together. That we can support institutions more effectively without compromising rigor, and that the European higher education area is not just a concept, but a living space where national and European bodies can collaborate for benefit the students, institutions, and the professions they serve. We are confident that this agreement will strengthen not only veterinary program evaluation, but also the culture of quality across Italy and Europe. Thank you. And I try to be as fast as possible, just to give much floor to the Q&A session if we have some question from the audience.
Perfect time. Thank you.
No? Apparently we have no question. I don't know. Yeah, of course. Up, Julie, we have.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for this wonderful initiative. I have the honor of representing the EVE Italian Working Group, and we're a group of colleagues from all of the Italian Vs that we come together periodically to share best practice, to share resources, to help one another preparing for visitation or revisitation. And we all know EVE very, very well. Many of us are experts as well in the different disciplines for EVE visitations. This is a wonderful step forward, a very, very important step forward for everybody. Very, very excited about this. I can't wait to see the first already Perugia and Milano already had some pilot programs. One thing just a specific question, because Italian Vs now are struggling with Petra, it's called the semestre aperto, okay, which is a barrier semester. It's the first semester of the first year that the closed admission policy has been abolished. So there's an unlimited number of potential students that can enroll. They have to get at least a passing grade in 3 macro disciplines, and then they go into a national kind of classification. And so beginning with the second semester of the first year, there's a closed admission policy. But these are students enrolled in the course. So what I was wondering is if ANVUR and EVE together could help Italian Vs navigate this semester aperto, because we're not really sure how and if it will influence positively or negatively evaluation on the part of both agencies. So I know it's a tricky question, not looking for any kind of definitive answers, but maybe just throwing it out there that this may be one of the first issues or one of the issues that the two organizations can talk about together. Thank you. And thanks once again for all the hard work.
I will leave the floor firstly to.
So many thanks for this question. I think we are evaluating lots of different European Vs, and the take-in procedure is quite differently in each country. So I think at least we can share the experience and look what the others are doing, and then summarizing what could be done. But I'm not quite sure if. So there are some, they have not a limited access. They are taking in students, and then they have kind of a break in between in some areas. At least we can summarize with our indicators and our experts how it is done, and then can see what kind of suggestions are done in that evaluation reports. Yeah. Yeah, I can. The program is nearly finished, but maybe we can discuss that. We have kind of a session of the educational day. It's about student self-confidence, and it could be included. Yeah, good idea.
Yes, I think that the new methodology of the admission of students in these programs is a challenge for all us, and we will adjust our methodology, our requirements, and overall. I showed you some data, about the new entrants and some indicators. So we will have to adjust this indicator in order to evaluate better this program, considering the number of new entrants in the first semester, and that there will be a break, in the second semester. in the second years. So all the indicators that I showed you, it will be considered on the light of this new methodology of admission of students in this kind of programs. Thank you for your question.
Yeah.
Massimo Castagnaro.
I can anticipate a potential, answer to that, because actually the students before, so during the semester, the entering semester, they are not veteran students. They are enrolled at the university, but not as a veteran students. They would be enrolled after passing the national examination. So from this point of view, regarding the numbers and the data of EAEVE, they are not vet students. So they will become vet students. They will enroll to the veterinary program after. So, the real problem is that I'm pretty sure they are not enrolled in the veterinary school. They are sure they are enrolled at the university because they
program.
It's not in a program, because then they have to choose. If they are not accepted in the veterinary program, they need to be accepted in another program. So that's why you can actually count the veterinary students when they get in the actual veterinary program, because all the others are exactly the same, like in neutral areas. So medical students, veterinary students, So from this point of view, the other problem, as Laura mentioned, is that the actual veterinary program is starting the second semester, not the first one. So we won't have 10 semesters, but we will have 9 semesters. That's, something that has to be changed. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Should the National Register of Students will work in this way?
No, I'm not sure. What I'm just saying is that you are not.
That all the university will send the information to the National Register of Students this way.
The EAEVE knows the exact number because the establishment send the number. So the EAEVE doesn't know what are the number of the national enrolled students to the blank semester.
Okay.
They don't know. So the establishment will send the number of the students when the students will be enrolled in the veterinary program.
Okay.
That's what I'm meaning. Of course, for ANVUR, it's another problem.
It's another problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's our business.
Just a quick question, more general, I would say. My name is Massenzia Fornasiero. I'm Vice President FEV and member of the EAEVE. I would like to ask Petra to comment about the importance of this kind of agreement in the view of other agreements in Europe. Thanks.
We are negotiating, so we are very close in contact with some further countries. And it's different because some of the countries, they have private companies acting as national QA agencies. So these private companies are not that interested. But we are in close contact with the Portuguese people. We try to negotiate with the French people, but there has to be done a decision. We are in close contact with the Turkish people because the Turkish system is quite similar to ANVUR. And then the Romanians have shown some interest, and some Nordic countries like Latvia. So we try to use the Memorandum of Understanding, which is signed today as a draft, but there might be some appendices according to the national requirements. So it won't be always the same document. We try to keep the first draft, the paragraphs we define to be the same ones, and then maybe specific figures or specific information the national QA agencies need could be summed up in an appendix. This is the idea. So we will see how the Turkish, because they need some further information we are not collecting within our self-evaluation. But I think that is easy to handle. Yeah. But then we can discuss what we are discussing now, because the most interesting part is if the national, because I was very interested in your analysis that there are differences between within Italy. So when I'm analyzing the indicators, I'm just analyzing it per country, and I can see that. So what I'm noticing is all the countries, they have a 10-semester program. They have much more students not finishing in the estimated time, and it could be a chance if they are starting in the second semester, then maybe Italy could prolong the study program to 11 or 12 semester, because you can see the difference. All the countries, they are running a 6 years program. The students are much more in time. So, and we have to be honest, if 30% of the students can't finish within 5 years, then it's already a 6 years program. So we have to be honest. But there are some shifts, because I can analyze that, but I'm now really surprised that within the V's of Italy, there is such a huge difference. That's interesting. And if we can share all these results, then we can work out room for improvement.
I think that we do not have any more questions, apparently, nor from the audience. So I would take the chance to thank you all the attendees of today once again. I want to say that all the updating will be found in the ANVUR and EAEVE websites. Nothing more. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you very much to President Petra Winter, to all the colleagues of EAEVE and the colleagues of ANVUR. And I think that is a very special moment, a very historical moment, also for us and for our cooperation. Thank you very much.
It's a good moment for starting new projects. So we already have some ideas. Many thanks for your invitation, and many thanks for this big achievement.
Thank you.